It's Tuesday, and that means another Dynasty Points episode live. More reactions, news, and notes that you guys need from another hectic, busy week of preseason NFL football. I can't wait for the season to kick off. I'm done. I'm over it. While we were prepping for recording of the Dynasty Points podcast, which will be out tomorrow, there was the Jamar Chase stuff, the Ken Walker stuff. I'm over it. I'm pretty over it. I'm more over it than I've been in previous years, but here we are. 5 for 5 coming up at the end of the show. You're going to want to stick around for that. The lead has changed. We'll dive into that a little bit this week. I do get to announce that we do have a winner of the FNL orphan team, someone joining us. Again, it's only happened twice where we've had to replace somebody in the league. Lucas joined last year. It's Hallen Maxwell, HM. He won. It was a draw. I made the draw. Everyone that made a submission, thank you very much. A lot of it was very heartfelt. A lot of it was very awesome to hear. We have so many people still watching from Full Tilt when we first started this program 5-6 years ago, and then everyone that has not missed an episode. I am putting together a new listener league, and I will be reaching out to everybody that left a submission for the FNL league, the league that started everything here for this show anyway. So that is that. Thanks to everyone in the chat. We're going to answer some questions after we get through some topics. So, because we're going a little bit earlier today, no Lucas Gilbert, but Ryan Heath, Jakob Sanderson, we're here. I was going to kick things off with my favorite topic to talk about. It's the topic that pops up on my feed the most on every platform from TikTok to Twitter. But Ryan, I'm going to pivot just for you. Kubiak is sending you off the rails with the Ashton Jeanty stuff.
I feel like I'm going to lose my mind and crash out. So to catch everybody up to the Ashton Jeanty experience.
You're against Christianity?
That's,
oh my goodness.
The reference flew over my head. I don't know if I'm just not quick enough today. You're going to have to explain that joke.
Because he keeps talking about prayer constantly. That's
his prayer circles.
Yeah. It's my That's the issue. No, the issue is I spent all day Sunday in a state of confusion on Ashton Jeanty's status. I saw things going past my timeline that there was a prayer circle, that he wasn't able to put any weight on his foot, that he had to get helped off the field, and that it was horrible. Sunday night, we learn actually it's not that bad. It's not a long-term injury. I'm like, okay, so I update my rankings on Monday morning, and I caveat. I say, we still don't actually know that much. There's a big range of potential return dates for Ashton Jeanty here. It could be anything from a minor low ankle sprain, if all we're getting is that it's an ankle sprain. Could be minor, could be he's playing in week 1, or it could be all the way out to he's missing multiple weeks and he is, not nearly as effective early in the season if it's a higher ankle sprain, right? It's just there's a big range that we're working with. This is what I'm saying throughout the past 24 hours. And I say, I'm waiting for news. And I'm waiting for the Clint Kubiak press conference, because Rappaport this morning came on and told us it's more low than high. But that's what he heard. So that, I don't know how to interpret that. It's more low than high. It's the lowest ankle sprain we've ever heard of, except they won't actually just say, hey, it's a low ankle sprain and he'll be out X amount of time. We never get that. So all my hopes are on this Clint Kubiak press conference. And before we went live, I'm just thumbing through the reporting here on ESPN.com summarizing Clint Kubiak's press conference. And it seems all he offered to reporters after being asked several times in several different ways about whether Jeanty could go on IR, whether Jeanty could be back for week 1, kind of no matter how it was phrased to him. It seems all he would offer was say, Jeanty, he's on the mend. Oh, he's on the mend. And yeah, the whole team took a knee. That says a lot about him being on the mend and counting on him. It's all about him being on the mend. Where do I rank him, Clint Kubiak? I don't know what I'm supposed to do with Ashton Jeanty. When is he going to be on a football field? We are not going to very likely hear anything for out of camp for the next couple of weeks. I don't know the exact cutoff date, but typically reporters lose access to NFL practices right before the final week of the preseason. We get no official injury reporting until the Wednesday before the season kicks off. So what am I meant to do with this? We are just going to go into prime draft season having no idea about the severity of Ashton Jeanty's injury, one of the most important players in fantasy football this year. And all Clint Kubiak has for us is that he's on the mend. I can't. I've defended you, Clint Kubiak. I have stand you throughout multiple off seasons at this point. You have always been one of the coaches in the league that I've been most complimentary of from a schematic perspective, from your ability to elevate the talent on your roster. I've been a big fan of yours, Clint Kubiak, but I gotta say, you've lost a lot of points in my book today. I am genuinely annoyed at you.
It's pretty tilting, but I mean, I don't know. The amount of conspiracy theories going on about this injury, to me, maybe I'll be proven wrong, and in fact, there is a grand, elaborate plot to hide Ashton Jeanty's never-seen-before fracture. I'm just going to guess that what Adam Schefter and Ian Rappaport are reporting is probably correct. It's usually the case. So I'm guessing that he has a low ankle sprain. Not all low ankle sprains are created equally, and like not all low ankle sprains are better than high ankle sprains. In fact, I'm actually not that shocked it's a low ankle sprain, because sometimes the immediate pain response can be even worse on the low ankle sprain versus the high ankle sprain. If you think of like Saquon Barkley's inversion sprain that he suffered a few years ago, where it looked like he had like died on the field, that was a low ankle sprain. Yeah. So I'm guessing it's a grade 2 low ankle. That would put him on a 3 to 6 week timeline, which would mean he could miss as little as 0 games. I think the most likely scenario is he misses 1 to 2 games, probably has a slight hit to workload and efficiency after coming back. I mean, it doesn't really affect how I view him in Dynasty all that much. From a redraft perspective, I'm pissed because I wanted to make him like one of the like tent poles of my draft plan. And I'm obviously pissed that like all the shares that I already have, just got slightly worse. But I'm more pissed that it seems like no one is taking this ankle injury very seriously. We've got like Fusu out here conspiracy posting, trying to get to the bottom of 9/11 on Twitter, but no one else seems to care. He's going in like the middle of the second round still. So I moved him down towards being like a 2-3 turn redraft pick now, and that I guess just means I won't get him very much this year. But I don't know. I don't think that there's a grand conspiracy. I think he probably has what Ian Rappaport says he has.
I moved him to 27 in my redraft ranking, so sounds like we're fairly similar. I still have him ahead of Jeremiah Love, of Josh Jacobs, who have like similar early season concerns. I'm more like optimistic in Jeanty just immediately getting like the 3-down bell cow workload and holding it for the rest of the season than I am on those other two. But I don't know. I might. It's hard for me. I was assuming we'd get more information and that I could move him further from here in either direction. And now I'm just a little lost as to what to actually do. So yeah, I'm gonna have to sleep on this one. But yeah, with Jeanty and Dynasty, since this is a Dynasty show, yeah, agreed. It doesn't really make much of any difference to me whatsoever. And if this is like a buying opportunity, I've gotten a few people asking me about like Ashton Jeanty trades in Dynasty over the last 24 hours, and I've basically evaluated all of them as if I would have before the weekend.
Yeah, if you want to know how this kind of affects the Mike Washington situation, we talked Mike Washington and other backup rookie running backs on the episode that's going to drop tomorrow. So you can check that out, kind of get more of a straight up reaction for that, and value and trade opportunities and some trades that actually went down here of late. So there is the Jeanty stuff, and let's just keep it on the Raiders for a moment, because we did kind of our favorite sleeper-ish type players, and Ryan, you and I kind of went back and forth a little bit on the Trey Tucker, Jalen Naylor conversation, and we thought it was a little bit more of a throwaway than maybe the Dynasty community is, because apparently there's like a very vocal back and forth for these two wide receivers. A lot of subtweets about, I thought so-and-so was the next JSN, insert JSN post, insert JSN comp, etc., etc. Tucker's a cut candidate. Like, there are people that are genuinely concerned that there's other wide receivers on that roster that are going to pass him up. Now,
wait.
This is
wait. Trey
Yes.
Tucker is a cut candidate?
What?
Yes.
I was told
to who?
Sean Tucker was a cut candidate. I
Sean
am told that
Tucker-
Trey Tucker
Sean-
is a cut candidate.
Sean
Where does
Tucker
this Trey
is
Tucker-
as well, but there
Where's
are.
this Trey Tucker report?
I'm gonna go look for it right now. But the Trey Tucker situation has a little bit more to do with the Besh situation where Besh is kind of turning a corner. He was kind of a camp favorite last year, ran into some trouble being out that way, and now Trey Tucker is in line
The most
to
recent
get past.
The most recent Coach Speak report I have on August 23rd is he's the clear wide receiver one.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah,
Clint
and that he
Kubiak said
wasn't.
Trey is the only guy who stepped up, and we're begging for someone to join him.
Oh, interesting. Okay, never mind then. So I got false reported because
Sean Tucker
I
is on the
saw.
roster.
Yes, we knew that when we talked about that one a little bit earlier. I got I'll just call it a bad lead then into my DMs.
Got fake news.
I got fake news from Raiders camp that Jack Besh is kind of taking over, and that Trey Tucker may not see it through. All right, so bad report on that guy. Apologies. Moving on from the Raiders, then let's talk about the Sean Tucker cut candidate, because then Lucas, well, that was your first mistake. Let's talk about the Sean Tucker cut candidate, because he was kind of going to be the goal line nuisance. Now we have it potentially being all Bucky Irving on the goal line again. Where do you guys land on those two?
Well, it's great news for both of them. Exactly which one it's greater news for is I guess TBD. I mean, it seems like the clear camp split has been that Bucky is taking the clear lead in carries, and Kenny Gainwell is the clear passing down option. I don't know that there's been very clear reporting on the goal line role. I mean, it was already notable to me in camp that Sean Tucker has been getting 0 reps with the ones. I suspect if he was, going to come in for this goal line specialist role, that he would have been repping in that capacity or in any capacity with the ones at some point during camp. So whether that's all Bucky at the goal line, all Gainwell at the goal line, or some combination of the two, I think remains to be seen and is something that will be very interesting to watch. I mean, what I've been saying for Bucky the whole year is that I thought that the two ways that he wasn't used coming back from a shoulder injury made a lot of sense for a guy that needs shoulder surgery. Mm-hmm. Like, do you want to plunge him into the line for 1 yard with a bum shoulder? Do you want him extending his arms, pass protecting with a bum shoulder? Those are two things that are pretty hard to do if you have one shoulder. So I think he'll probably be the predominant goal line back. I don't think it'll be like 100%. I think it'll be some form of split. The more exciting thing to me is that if Tucker is cut, or if he's just on the team, but like the team clearly doesn't view him very favorably or is like a very essential component of the team, then if either Bucky or Gainwell gets hurt, I mean, the other could have absolutely massive upside. Whereas I think for most of the season, part of what's depressed both of their values is the assumption that, there's going to be this third guy who might have a role, in base, and will definitely have a role if one of them goes down. So I've moved both of them up in my like seasonal view rankings. And I mean, I've been a Bucky guy, but I think that this offseason has gone about as well as you can hope. He's been healthy the whole time. He's drawn strong reviews. You know, they obviously brought in Gainwell, and he's going to have a role. I think that's pretty priced in. So I'm pretty excited as a Bucky guy, and we'll see how that holds up in week 1.
Yeah, you make a really compelling case. I think this is one of those things that can go kind of underrated, because I do think for the longest time, my opinion on Bucky Irving across formats, and I think a lot of people's, was predicated on, well, he's getting squeezed for high value touches both ways, which was what we saw at the end of last year. But yeah, if Sean Tucker is, even if he doesn't actually get cut, even if it's just anywhere like directionally true that he's on the roster bubble, that does matter a lot, because yeah, he was only a drag on the upside of the other two. And I think like maybe a interesting comparison to make here, and one that we made a few weeks ago when we did our running back tiers that I think I now feel differently about the conversation we had, was Bucky Irving versus Cam Scadaboo, where if you'd asked me a month ago, I'd have said, yeah, I feel very confident, even if not in Cam Scadaboo's health and effectiveness this year, at least in the high value touches, that clearly the best way to use him is at the goal line as a passing down back. Like, I think he'll be very fantasy friendly. Now I've like reversed course on that. I think just with what the team has shown us in preseason in terms of how they are trying to use non-Scadaboo backs, using Tyrone Tracy in the passing situations in pass pro, bringing in Najee Harris, and now Tracy is also kind of being floated as a cut candidate. Is Devin Singletary going to beat him out? Like, these are things that are in the ether. With that, like, I guess I just misread the Giants backfield a month ago, and I also misread the Buccaneers backfield a month ago, at least from where we're at now and from kind of what the hints have been that these two teams have shown us in preseason and with their roster moves. So yeah, if I argued at any point in that tier show that I would rather have Scadaboo over Bucky because I preferred his outlook this year, then flip that to me, is what I would say.
I'm on the Bucky side of this. I will play a slight devil's advocate, though. I think it's possible that this Najee thing is like seen right now, and I've downgraded him, so I get why. But I think it's possible we look back on this in a few weeks and actually the Najee thing was good, because for much of the year, you know, Tyrone Tracy was carrying an ADP that suggested he was a real part of the backfield. But if what the Najee Harris thing really means is that Tyrone Tracy doesn't exist, like, I'm not so sure that's like, is that a worse outcome if you just replace Tyrone Tracy with Najee Harris? I think that's an upgrade for Scadaboo, not a downgrade for Scadaboo. That's not guaranteed that's what happens. Maybe it's a 3-person committee, but if we went from he's the 1A to Tyrone Tracy's 1B to he's the 1A to Najee Harris's 1B, I like the second equation better.
So my initial assumption or like read on that backfield was, yes, Tracy is nominally a part of it, but that his role would be like that of a change of pace back in between the 20s, which is kind of what his role was last year when Scadaboo was healthy for that month or so after he took over as kind of the lead back. So that was how I was projecting out the Giants backfield. But now, to me, the moves that they've made, which show that, yeah, we care about passing downs for our non-Scadaboo backs quite a bit, to me, that says, oh, maybe the high-value touches will not just be so neatly like in Scadaboo's corner as I was kind of assuming. And as soon as that's not the case, when we're on the New York Giants as the offense that we're talking about, that's when I get very scared in fantasy football. So it's not necessarily that I think Najee is better than Tracy or that he's going to play more snaps than Tracy would have played. It's more that it speaks to these are maybe higher value snaps that the Najee version of this backfield is taking away from Scadaboo versus the Tracy version of this backfield. But that could have just been my initial mistake to just project the previous staff's usage of these running backs onto this year. So that might have just been my bad earlier in the offseason, and I never should have come in with that assumption.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. What I've been lower on Bucky Irving all kind of off season. I did take him. We were talking actually back and forth before we did a live show. I was on the clock, and I was hesitant to take him. I think it was late in the 6th round. I think is where I ended up getting him. Or it was early in the 6th. Give me 1 second. I'll take a look. It was at the 6-1. At the 6-1, I took him as my RB1. And I felt, I don't know, not 100% confident in the pick, but Ryan kind of talked me into it. And now I'm feeling, well, better if Sean Tucker's kind of off the roster. I think that'll end up being a net positive. Too bad Lucas isn't here so we can just talk about Isaiah Pacheco getting cucked at the goal line by Kareem Hunt again, possibly. That would have been a lot of fun to get his reaction on that, but unfortunately, not the case. All right, let's talk about my favorite topic. Shedeur Sanders will be the number 2 in Cleveland.
This is your favorite topic?
It's my favorite topic. It's my favorite topic. It is the thing that pops up on my feed on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. Sleeper sends me notifications on a regular basis. I made my first post, ever since I made my first post about Shedeur last year, it is my most commented on stuff, period. I get the most death threats, the most insane DMs, everything about the Shedeur Sanders things, but I think people are looking at it in the wrong way. And I'll put it this way. 1, I am worried for every single position player on that team in 2026, except for maybe Harold Fannin and Judkins. Those might be the only 2 guys I don't have full panic bells for. However, I think Watson's only started in the first 2 weeks of the year. I think by the home opener, it's Shedeur Sanders. I think they're protecting him. If I'm Cleveland, I don't want to go up against the Jaguars defense in those exotic looks and a team that hungry and that good and send Shedeur out there. I think that Watson is... People overreacting this for fantasy purposes, like Watson is going to be the guy. I think it is very clearly just setting up for Shedeur to get a more cushy game against the Panthers at home. And I think Watson is going to just be cannon fodder. Tough matchups for Cleveland in the first 2 weeks. So I think that's what they're doing. I think they're gearing them up for the home game. I think people are looking at this the wrong way. All that being said, I would rather them start Green. Like, I think that would be best case scenario for Cleveland moving forward.
I wouldn't, as a person with investment in their pass catchers.
Yeah, well,
Jesus
yes,
Christ.
I'm aware. I know that, but I think the pass catchers might be in trouble no matter what. But a lot of the overreaction to the Cleveland news is that it was always going to be, I think it was always going to be Watson for these first 2 games. And then Watson. So if you can sell at all, you can get a third back. You can get a fourth back for Watson.
I can't imagine you can get anything for Deshaun Watson, can you?
I mean, people were trading for Phillip Rivers last year.
Yeah, but that's like the end of the
positive
season after everybody is like injured and people are down to one. Like everybody's got their quarterbacks now. There's no bye weeks. There's no injuries.
Yeah, it's also fun to trade for Phillip Rivers. It's not fun to trade for Deshaun Watson.
No,
He's
well,
logging into
well,
the sleeper and saying, you know what? I am going to send some offers out for Deshaun Watson right now. That's how I'm going to spend the fleeting moments of peace that I have after I got off my shift from work. Let's go send out the Deshaun Watson offers. No, I'm sending out the Phillip Rivers offers in week 15. That's way more fun. That's positive aura. Negative aura for the Deshaun Watson offers. Well, I just don't.
In May, before we had the official news, someone was at least trading Tua for him. So, I mean, we'll see. I bet you when the trade database updates one more time, I bet you we see. I'm just gonna look. I'm just gonna think maybe somebody out there has done it. August 25th today. Deshaun Watson for a 27th third and a 28th third from today. Deshaun Watson and a 28th third for a 28 second and 27 fourth. I'm telling you,
can we go to the next
people
topic?
are out there. I'm just telling you that if you can do it and you can get these 27 seconds and these 28 seconds.
Sure. If you
By
can
God,
find,
please
if you
do
can
it.
find some sex pest in your league, go ahead.
Oh my goodness.
You can if you can massage a trade offer together.
What's the even if Deshaun Watson, let's say you actually have to start him and that this is like a useful trade for your dynasty roster in terms of your week 1 projection, what is the EV, the expected value loss from being the guy to trade for him that discourages your league mates from viewing you seriously going forward? Is it actually worth it?
It's not worth it. Yeah, it's just all I'll say on
Play a
this
wide
is
receiver.
I just am really upset at how the Browns. I like so much of what they have done the last 2 off seasons. They nailed their draft last year. With Schlesinger and Fannin, Judkins looks like a stud. I love their draft this year. Concepcion, Boston, Fano.
Yeah.
I think that they're in really good shape. The Garrett trade, I thought that was like a tough decision that took balls, and I'm glad they did that. It's a team that I think I'm going to be really high on in 2027. I just wish that they could have gotten a quarterback that would just run the offense. I know they couldn't have gotten a good quarterback, but like, wouldn't it just be fun to watch this team with like Flacco or Andy Dalton, like just for the purpose of you're trying to develop a young offensive line prospect, you're trying to develop 2 young receivers, Fannin, second-year guy, like just be nice if our veteran quarterback who would start the first half of the season before Shedeur Sanders came on was like crappy, but crappy on time, you know? Like, why couldn't it be Gardner Minshew?
Well, to be fair, they tried the Joe Flacco thing, and that didn't really work out when they did the transition.
That would be better than this.
I agree.
It's like they're gonna suck regardless. There's no good answer. I just think it would be nice for like Casey Concepcion and Denzel Boston to get used to running routes where the ball might find them in time in the progression, compared to the entire year is now going to be Deshaun Watson backyard football, followed by Shedeur Sanders backyard football, followed by potentially Taylon Green, like, I don't know, power T football. Like, yeah, Carson Wentz, like Brian's put
I
in the
don't
chat,
think
like,
he's actually
legitimately
available.
Well, he would have been like this
Trubisky,
offseason, right? They could have got, I don't think Wentz was under contract in the offseason. Anyway,
anyone,
I see what just like mean. Anyone who can like play on time. That's just what I wanted. And it just
I'd be more interested in them trying to go and get like Bajent. Right, like a lot of people always want to know, like, why haven't the Bears?
Well, I
entertained
think the
offers
issue
for
with
their
Bajent is like
backup
you'd have to pay something for him, and I get why. If you're the Browns, you're like, we are going to suck, and so we're going to draft our quarterback of the future next year. We're not going to bother spending any additional future assets on a stopgap. I get that. I just wish, like, why couldn't you get like the 49th quarterback in the league who is a veteran?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Like, I would like. Why couldn't I would have loved Cousins to be the quarterback for this team?
Yeah, it doesn't really fit the Monken vibe, but there's got to be somebody out there that they could go and get.
I think. Just someone. Anyone.
I
wish Monken went and traded for. I mean, Klevta. I mean, talk about down bad. I mean, Klevta's been advocating for Monken to trade for his old college quarterback Stetson Bennett. And I think that's a good idea.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. Any 7th round pick. Yeah, you're right. Anyone you could get for like a 7th or 6th round pick has got to be better than this. All right, we'll save Jacob a headache. We'll move on to, well, actually, this may not save Jacob a headache. What do you feel about the Ramondre, the quote, way better back at everything stuff coming out of New England? Because the Trevion Ramondre stuff has been, I would say, contentious in the Dynasty community all offseason.
I mean, we've talked about this all offseason. He's had a perplexing and frustrating price in all formats to me, where this is the type of profile, like year 2 back, prospect profile I really liked, explosive back, receiving upside. Like, it's all the things I'd like to bet on. I just am not used to the market being this far divorced from like the median projection on a player. And I don't know if it's just the market turning on a new leaf or if the market was just reading this way more optimistically, but he's been, unfortunately, someone I've been pretty below consensus on all off season. It should drop in a day or two, but I have a top 5 dynasty sells article coming out in The Athletic this week, and I picked one sell for every type of team and one universal sell, and TreVeyon Henderson unfortunately was my universal sell. So I don't think he's a wise investment in dynasty, and in fact, probably in dynasty is the spot where I'd want to sell most, in particular if I have a portfolio of teams, because at least in dynasty, and theoretically you could sell him before the season, and then if you really like what you see in a timeshare capacity, I would bet you can probably buy at the same cost a few weeks into the season if you think he looks better. Or if he, is really buried behind Ramondre, you could probably buy lower. In like best ball or something, it's a lot scarier because, even if he starts in a very terrible position, there's no chance to buy low in season, right? You either have to buy at the cost that you're going to buy at in the off season, or you don't get any. And I'm not really willing to have none. So, in dynasty, like especially if you have a portfolio of teams, if you have one league and Hendo's your guy, I get it. It's a little different, but like if you have 20, 30 leagues and like Brian's in the chat saying he'll buy all your Hendo, there's a lot of people who have a lot of conviction on Henderson. I would sell TreVeyon Henderson to someone like Brian in the leagues that you can. And can't be sure about this, but I would be pretty confident that you can get back in probably at a better price a few weeks into the season, not from the guy that you sold him to, obviously. So I'm saying it's a portfolio idea, but probably from different players in different leagues.
Yeah, I don't know that I have a ton to add on it. You can take us where you want, Tom. Sorry.
No, that's good. I think that's what people needed to hear when you get news like that. Oh, 100%. I'm looking at all the stuff that we have here, and I'm thinking I think we've covered about enough. Don't really care too much about the booty stuff. I guess we could do that before getting into questions. If you guys have anything, I'm more interested in that. It doesn't seem like Tank Dell is going to actually be full go this year, but I'm not really.
He's not going to be any
much
go
on the
this year.
booty thing.
I'm like, it's not fun to beat up on this guy because what he's doing from like a human level is ridiculously impressive, and I wish him all the best in the world. But we got to stop with the Tank Dell stuff. He's not like every Texans beat reporter is loudly telling you this guy's a complete non-factor that they hope is part of the plans at 2027, and he's still coming off the board. Stop.
Yeah, and that's about where I feel as well. And I don't love Keishon Boutte that much. I feel like he was more of a Devi darling that's kind of outperformed expectations.
He's the Sean Tucker of wide receivers. He's like a guy that everyone in fantasy is obsessed with, and then the NFL tells you over and over again they think this guy stinks. And I don't understand. At least with Tucker, when he's had chances to perform, he's put up fantasy points. I don't understand where the Boutte thing comes from at all. It's really weird to me. Career 13% targets per out run. That's terrible. 13% targets per out run last year, one of the worst receiver rooms in the league. He was really efficient per target. I'll give him that. He played the ball really well. The Patriots obviously weren't that impressed. They could have kept him, and they traded him for quite literally nothing. I understand Patriots fans thinking that was weird, and I think it was kind of weird, but they didn't value him at all. None of the other 31 teams valued him at all. He's been loudly on the trade block for 5 months. The best they got was a 2028 7th and a camp body safety. The Carolina Panthers decided they'd rather start Xavier Legette than fork over a 2027 6th for this guy. So I don't really understand the Boutte thing at all. My take on the Texans would just be buy Nico Collins.
Yeah, Nico Collins seems really good this year.
He's going to be running routes next to a 13% targets per out run player in Boutte, a 13% targets per out run in Xavier Hutchinson, Dalton Schultz, who's going to be the cheapest 12 points per game that you're ever going to find this year in tight end premium leagues, and a cascade of blocking tight ends from Marlon Klein to Cade Stover to Foster Moreau. Nico Collins might lead the entire league in targets per out run this year because he's just running next to a never-ending assortment of fullbacks, tight ends, and wind sprinters.
Yeah, I moved Nico Collins up a couple of spots, and it's only a couple of spots, but that's significant when we're talking about in Dynasty, a guy going in the top few rounds of startups, and redraft, a guy going at the 2-3 turn. Like I was legitimately moved by the Jaden Higgins injury for Nico Collins, just because, he maybe more than any other wide receiver in the league is just going to be in a target funnel now for the entirety of the season. Whatever you think about Keyshawn Booty or Xavier Hutchinson or any of these guys, like I think all of them, regardless of who you want to argue plays more or what the personnel packages are, like it all just leads to no target competition for Nico Collins. And while I'm not that high on the Texans passing game or CJ Stroud or anything that they have shown us the last couple of seasons, it's pretty rare that you get to say this for a player as talented as Nico Collins is. So yeah, he's one where I'm legitimately a little bit scared I don't have enough of, or that I haven't been high enough on throughout the previous few months of the offseason, just because it's pretty easy to see him just massively like outshining this situation and the quarterback play and everything now, just because there's kind of any headwind disappearing for Nico Collins, whether it's the Texans suddenly don't have literally a top 3 defense, or the Texans suddenly throw the ball a little bit more, or there are so many things that could happen to where he's such a talented player that I could just see the rocket ship happening in any given year, and that it could very easily be this year now. And I think it's more likely that this is like the Nico Collins signature career year smash season than I did if you had asked me a week ago.
I will say two players stand out for me post Booty trade. It's Dalton Schultz. I think is somebody that I most definitely want to roster a little bit more. He was sneaky good last year, 106 targets, 82 receptions. He's not going to give you a lot after the catch. He's kind of in the Hunter Henry mold, but he's been sneaky productive in Houston as a viable tight end option. I think that he's definitely worthy of more of a pickup. I like the Booty acquisition more for him than if it was somebody like a Rashad Bateman, let's say, who the Texans were rumored to have been asking about until all the fun stuff that NFL players tend to like to do in the offseason came out. And then, of course, on the Patriots side, Kyle Williams is actually my favorite wide receiver stash. Now, I see the look that Jacob kind of... Hear me out on it, though. Why give up, nothing, right? Or give him up for nothing? And I want to believe that it's because they wanted to get Kyle Williams on that outside boundary a little bit more to be the field stretcher, because Booty had pretty good deep ball chemistry with Drake May. That was kind of his guy on the scramble drill when things kind of broke down. And I'm hoping that Kyle Williams, who's a more dynamic player, maybe gets some of those shots and maybe gets more opportunity to be a guy on the outside. And I want to use my conspiracy theory tinfoil hat to say they were willing to give him up for free because Kyle Williams has stood out a little bit more in preseason, more in camp, 1 more year to develop his route running, his release stuff, which I see all over my timeline. So I like him as like a flyer.
Got a great release package, Kyle Williams.
That's right. He's not running TikTok routes though. He
has a thing of beauty in winning releases against press man coverage. Very aesthetically pleasing receiver. I have a less optimistic view on the rational coaching of the New England Patriots. Look, if it were me running the team, that's what I would do. I'd have Williams at X, and I'd have Brown and Dobbs rotating between the slot and the flanker position. But I just hand on shoulders to you and Lucas and the rest of the Kyle Williams truthers out there, because what's going to happen is it's going to be Romeo Dobbs and A.J. Brown on the outside and a steady mix of Mac Hollins and Demario Douglas in the slot. And I do not think they moved Booty because they wanted to open up slots for Kyle Williams. I think they moved Booty because they're a bunch of absolute boomers who think that slot receivers have to be 5'9", and so they're like forcing Pop Douglas into this role for no reason.
I know, but I want to believe. I'm trying to turn a new leaf. I'm trying to become Mr. Positivity, not Mr. Negativity.
If it happens, I'll be happy. I would like to see that.
I have hope. Okay, a couple questions, and then we'll get out of here. Or not get out of here, but get to 5 for 5. I have CeeDee Lamb, Jettas, Rice, Tet with Scat, and Price as my RB. Would y'all trade Jettas for Hampton plus Ramondre? I would say no, but...
No for me.
CD Jettas, I'm like actually thinking about this. I would lean yes. I think I have Jettas and Hampton ranked not that far from each other. I don't think I mind this at all. Maybe I'm the fool for being too low on Jettas, but I'm kind
Your
of
risk
okay
tolerance
with
is probably a lot higher than mine.
Yeah.
Marion Hampton, assuming that everyone plays up to their ADP, this trade is probably totally fine. I just Justin Jefferson, like everyone knows what Justin Jefferson is. His value is pretty robust. Marion Hampton is like one game at a 47% snap share away from being worth like a late first at most. That's way too much fragility for me.
Yeah, I understand your concern, but I don't think it's that wild of a trade given the roster that they just showed us.
I'm going to punch it in. Let's go.
Because I think there's another side to that too, of Hampton being like an instant like 1-2 turn startup pick for the next 5+ years that I think is also a possibility. But
yeah, so we definitely like the Hampton side of this by fantasy points market value. So we have no issues with that rankings wise. I just have a gut feeling about the Justin Jefferson thing. I think there's quite a few people that are a little too low, but the team build ends up kind of being okay. James Bean says, I have Bowers 0.5 PPR. You flipping Fannin plus Douglas for a base 27-1 before the season? I'll say yes.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. It's half PPR, no premium. Yeah, Fannin takes a massive hit in that format.
Big time. And Drake Maddox says Tanner McKee or Gus Nuss as super late dynasty darts.
Tanner McKee.
I'll answer with Tanner McKee because the same reason we talked about with Bajan. If he plays well, it's always is Howie going to do it and get something
Have
for
some pride.
For McKee.
If I want to play you in week 18 DFS, then you get to be the answer to this question. Is my criteria.
You somehow found two players that I value Kyle Williams above.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Let's move to 5 for 5, of course, because I do sometimes have a tendency to mess some things up. I'm going to make sure that everything looks the way it is supposed to, and it does. Today's game. This is the Do It All Club. I have used multiple players this offseason in my first year hosting this game to emphasize that there are players out there that really can do it all. So today we're showing them some love. It is the Do It All Club. Jacob went into last week behind and absolutely smoked everybody with multiple first guess answers, multiple second guess answers after saying he wasn't going to have a chance. And well, it turned out nobody else had a chance. Jacob smoked him. If you're new here, the way this works is the chat gets an opportunity to play. Our hosts here are going to close the chat. If chat does get it, they get their points, but our host gets the opportunity to follow through and rack up some points. If I somehow stump everybody like the Schwab, shout out Stump the Schwab, if anyone else is old enough to remember it, that's happened twice this year, so I have 2 points. Every once in a while, I will throw bonus questions in to kind of spice things up a little bit. Chat, you get 3 guesses per question before we move on to the next one. Is everyone ready to go? We know what is happening. There's only, 1 or 2 more weeks left to 5 for 5, so we are...
So here's my question.
Yes.
Lucas is in the chat. So is he playing as Lucas or the chat?
Lucas should play as Lucas, I think.
Lucas is playing as Lucas, but Lucas has to remember if he says something, he could potentially be giving the chat points like he's given Ryan points. So
Okay.
Or no, that's the other way around. Ryan has been giving Lucas points. I apologize. It's been a long weekend, guys. My face is completely sunburnt. You'll understand. All right. First clue. I caught exactly 2 passes during my college career. Both went for touchdowns. And I was also credited with 2 tackles.
Okay. So didn't play a lot of receiver or a lot of defense. Interesting way to start this category off. We're just
Setting the
learning about the
tone.
things he didn't do much of.
I
I'm
think I
looking
have
for
a
things
guess
they
for
did a
what
lot of.
position group this person plays.
Yeah.
I don't know who the player is.
Okay. I'll give you guys another couple seconds. I'm giving Chad a couple of seconds. It looks like there's nothing. We can move on. All right. We're setting the tone with question 1. As a redshirt freshman, I was directly responsible for exactly 228 points, 192 through passing touchdowns, 30 through rushing, and 6 through a receiving touchdown.
I was assuming it was a quarterback, at least nominally. So that checks out, but doesn't do much else for me.
Yeah. I have like some loose guesses, but none that I think have more than like a 2% chance of being correct. So I'll just sit on this.
Good guess in the chat, but not the right answer. After my final pass of the first half was intercepted in a 2018 game, I then completed my next 15 attempts. I went 19 for 25 for 198 and 2 touchdowns after halftime in a big game. This is just setting the tone for era.
I will guess Ryan Tannehill.
No, good guess.
Before I say my guess, I'm going to explain why. I'm wondering if you would use this player as like a jab at the pre-draft discourse on him. Is it Lamar Jackson randomly?
It is not, but that is a great guess. Lamar Jackson has never made a tackle in his life, I'm pretty sure.
I wouldn't have thought so, but like 2 in college, like I could believe it, but
All right.
Surely
Not bad. My first receiving touchdown was a 41-yard score thrown by then Titans running back Antonio Andrews.
ooh.
Okay.
Great guesses from the chat. I can't wait to go through them.
Remember, and who remembers that? If I'm even saying the
Wow.
right Titans
It's frustrating.
backfield,
And I even guessed the Titans quarterback too, and
yeah.
didn't do anything for me.
Wasn't that Titans backfield like Antonio Andrews, Bishop Sankey? There's a third guy I'm forgetting that was like the most monstrous committee ever.
I'm sure it was depressing.
Chat, you guys have got to be careful. You guys have rattled off
This
3
is a
guesses.
brutal one. I don't feel like I'm even close to anything.
Yeah,
here.
I have no idea.
My first was, yeah, I'm
hope
hoping
chat
that
gets
the
it,
last,
honestly.
I'm hoping the last clue is easy and I can grab 1 point here because I don't got anything.
After my second college season, my teammates voted me Oregon's most inspirational
Marcus Mariota.
player. Correct.
Oh,
Lucas got it at the last clue. Jacob, you get it here.
I should have gotten that, honestly. I knew the era of the Titans that it was in. That should have been... I feel like I overthought that one. I should have just immediately said Mariota.
Yeah.
Chat
Yeah.
is not getting the points.
It is funny that I guessed Tannehill, who took Mariota's job.
Yes, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
It was a big game.
But
because a
before
lot
you
of-
gave any Titans clues, I just guessed
Yes.
that because of he played receiver in college.
I will say chat is not getting the points because Lucas is in the chat giving his answers. His came up first, so sorry, Jay. We did have an Eric Crouch. I love that one from Drake Maddox. We, of course, had a Taysom Hill, which was also not correct either.
Yeah,
but
I clarified before
that's a
we
good
started
one.
whether Lucas was Lucas or Lucas was chat.
Right.
The bright side is Lucas's incorrect guesses don't count against the chat's incorrect guesses. So.
Exactly. All right, next clue. As a true freshman, I averaged 10.9 yards on only 35 carries and still contributed 3 tackles on special teams.
I mean, yeah, no.
Sion Vaki.
No, but great guess. I love that you took a shot. In addition to rushing for 111 yards on 6 carries against Arkansas, I forced a fumble on the opening kickoff of the second half.
This is just
Damn. Yeah, I don't know.
utter woke nonsense. You know what? I'll guess one here, actually. SEC West, rival of Arkansas, played a lot of different positions. Give me Dexter McCluster.
No, but what a great guess.
That's good.
What a great. I almost want to give you a bonus point for
Dexter McCluster,
I'm-
I think, was also on that in that disgusting Titans committee
That
potentially.
is such a good. That is such a good guess, man. Over one 3-season NFL stretch, I scored 7 touchdowns of at least 65 yards away. 5 as a runner, 2 as a receiver. No other player had more than 5 during that span.
Well, Ryan gets the first guess.
3-season NFL stretch, 7 touchdowns from 65 plus, 5 as a runner, 2 as a receiver. Oh man, I really don't have a good idea. Damn, this guy was like good then, is what this sounds like. But I don't know if I'm overthinking there. I don't know. Was it like CJ Spiller?
No, good guess though.
I'll hold.
Jacob, you have the advantage. You're gonna hold.
I'll hold my advantage to the next clue.
When I signed with my second NFL team, my career passing line was 7 of 9 for shout out Star Trek Voyager. 7 of 9 for 37 yards and 4 touchdowns. I had also caught 155 for 1,458 yards, but only 3 receiving touchdowns.
Huh.
Oh, I have a guess once Jacob goes because he gets it first, I think.
He does.
Actually, no.
Nothing
This
in
probably
here-
isn't
nothing
it.
in here that's
but,
giving me the
yeah.
year, which is tough. Like I have no idea the timeline of this. Okay, passed a little bit barely.
I'm actually not going to say my guess because I don't
mean,
think it's
I'll-
this question,
I'll
but it
just-
could be a
I'll-
future question.
I'll just guess because he would fit the category, even though I don't think it's him. Mohamed Sanu?
It is not. That's a good guess though.
I'll take the next clue. I don't have
right.
anything. I had an idea, but then I was like, it can't be this guy, and he could literally be one of the next 3 questions. So I'm just gonna keep my powder dry.
In one road playoff victory, I rushed for 195 yards, added 7 receiving yards, and threw a touchdown pass. My team's actual starting quarterback finished with only 88 passing yards.
This must have been like very before my time in the NFL, is what I'm concluding. But
I don't understand how this clue isn't doing it for me. He had like a
That-
legendary road playoff
Yes.
performance. How is this
Yeah.
not triggering anything in my brain? 195 yards. Like
Do you want
that's
me, chat got it a
fucking
while
sick.
ago. Do you want me to give you like one final hint?
Sure.
This
Sure.
game absolutely crushed my soul from start to finish.
Who did you guys lose to in epic fashion?
As the 1 seed, by the way.
I have like no recollection of this game.
Their head
Was it, like-
coach
Whatever happened.
coaches the New England Patriots.
Is this Derrick Henry?
Correct.
Oh, wow.
wow, not
Don't
see
give me
that
the
one
points for
coming.
that. You had to give me 17 different hints. But
no,
that's
no, no.
crazy.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We'll give you the
Wow.
one. We'll give you the one.
That is just like not
Chat
the
got it at the
position that I
third.
was thinking.
me either.
So-
yeah,
So this stretch by Derrick Henry was like talked
Yeah.
about forever. So I was very
I think had I been thinking running backs at any point, but it was like I don't know. I was like so turned
this-
around by all of your different talks of catches
Yeah.
and throwing,
I know.
and yeah, you had me turned around and
I'm getting good. I'm getting good.
Yeah,
I'm getting
that
good.
was- Yeah.
All right, next
yeah.
one.
I
Shout
was
out
down
Mark.
to thinking it was like a wide receiver or something weird. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was gonna go with this, and I was gonna say he has the most famous high school stats of all time, and then
yeah,
that would have just been a
have
dead
been
giveaway.
instant. But yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Huh.
As a true freshman, I accounted for 3 of 5 touchdowns in a bowl victory, scoring twice as a runner and once a receiver, was named the most outstanding player.
the The game's most outstanding play. Is this like a specific like way that certain bowl games would award it? I don't know.
Lucas, stop guessing the same people.
Like it's not the MVP.
Well, maybe it is, but I certainly don't know which bowl games use which terminology. Maybe Lucas does because he's a fucking nerd.
All right, we're moving forward.
Yeah.
My then school record 91-yard run occurred on the second offensive play of the game. I finished that afternoon with 121 rushing yards and 70 receiving yards.
This is a lot of college stuff. This category.
Yeah.
this is tough.
Well, I'm trying to set up that they did it in both.
Yeah. I get it. I'm just.
Yeah.
It's just my odds of success here are non-existent.
Yeah, the college stuff I feel like only stands to confuse me and like throw me off the trail on what position or type of player they are. Yeah.
Next clue.
We've got some heaters in the chat, so it's always a tough one to balance. I became one of the first wide receivers since the 1970 merger to throw 2 career touchdown passes of at least 50 yards. The recipients were 2 different all-pro wide receivers playing for 2 different teams.
Okay.
Is this Odell Beckham?
It is not.
Oh,
good guess.
Good guess. I thought you had that right. Yeah.
I thought I did too.
No, but he didn't throw his famous touchdown pass wasn't to a receiver, it was to Barkley.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. I was thinking he must have like thrown one to Jarvis Landry at some point, and
he did throw one to Landry, I think, but he threw the other one to Barkley. I remember that play. I had Odell and Barkley on my fantasy team during that game, and I thought it was so sick.
All right.
I got nothing.
Jacob, you got the advantage. I completed each of my first 6 NFL passes for 228 yards and 3 touchdowns. 3 of those 6 completions gained at least 50 yards.
Damn.
Oh my god. This is like so not my category apparently because I suck today. I'm not gonna bother guessing because if I guess here, Ryan's just gonna hold and then he's gonna just get it when the finally easy clue hits.
Yeah, give us the next clue. Jacob's always faster than me on the easy clues.
His final stat line is one of the most unusual in the NFL. 7 for 8 for 233 passing yards, 4 touchdowns with no picks, 42 carries for 226 yards and 2 touchdowns, while receiving 435 catches for 4,871 yards.
Randall L?
It is not, and 27 touchdowns. It is the most unique wide receiver stat line that I've ever found. Also a punt returner.
I had a guess, but now it feels wrong that you just gave me that detail. God, man.
I'm going to Google Randall L stat line now. Sick.
Chat got this one a while ago.
I don't know. Is it
good for them?
Just telling him so they can stop
Is it
guessing.
fucking Wes Welker?
It is not. You guys are going to be really bummed when I give you the answer because you said his name already. His name is Mohamed Sanu.
This one's Sanu?
Just wasn't guessing him for some reason.
He's the most prolific wide receiver for passing in NFL history.
That's Randall L by far. Randall L, I looked him up. Randall L is 22 of 27 for 323 and 6.
All right, never mind. It is Randall L. All right.
I guess I just assumed you wouldn't make Sanu one of the answers to this for some
Rutgers
stupid
legend.
reason.
I don't know why I didn't, because I guessed him literally last round. I should have just guessed him again.
TD got it.
Yeah.
I
feel like I guess these guys, and then I'm like, well, it's boring if I just keep guessing the same guy.
We've got Ravens lore here. We've got Rutgers lore here. Always key to remember who's asking the questions. All right, here we go. Oh, I clicked the stream button, not this button. My first collegiate touch became a 52-yard touchdown reception. In the same debut, I returned 3 punts for 60 yards and recorded 3 special teams tackles.
Well, I'm not going to bother holding because I don't think the second clue is going to be easy enough either. So I'll just have fun instead. Josh Cribbs.
No, good guess.
I don't know. I'll pass, I guess. Not that it's going to help me.
Congrats.
Okay.
Instead of like making everyone sit here for 10 seconds while I rack my brain for an answer that's going to be wrong, we can just move to the next question.
Lucas, if you guess Percy Harvin again, you're disqualified from asking the next question. He's not on this list.
I swear to God, if I guessed Sanu on the previous
Chase
one
is
and
fine.
then Sanu and now this one's Randall L, I'm gonna kill Tom.
You're gonna get me out on the golf course, and no one's ever gonna see me again. My freshman all-purpose yardage was split almost evenly across 4 roles: 300 rushing, 251 receiving, 154 on punt return, and 91 on kickoff returns. I also made 7 tackles.
I feel confident that my decision to guess won't be hurting me here.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. You can guess if you want, Jacob. Let's take it.
I got nothing. Dude.
To answer our chat's question while we're playing, Chase is fine. He said he would play. We got very lucky.
He's fine. We're good.
All right, no guesses?
No, I got nothing.
Chat got it already. My first 2 completed NFL passes became touchdowns of 50 and 34 yards for 2 different franchises. The second came in a game in which I also scored rushing and receiving touchdowns.
Is it Logan Thomas?
No, but what a phenomenal guess. One of my favorite players.
How about Julian Edelman?
No, another good guess. I will say, for the sake, because chat's already got it, you guys are thinking small. My freshman all-purpose yardage was split almost evenly. Oh, that's the
second clue.
That's the second clue. I have the other one right here. I forgot I swapped them because I thought one was actually too early. It is my famous single-season all-purpose yardage record required an NCAA record 434 all-purpose plays. That's where I got it flipped.
Wait, can you repeat that again?
We're still on NCAA shit.
My famous single-season all-purpose yardage record required an NCAA record 434 all-purpose plays.
I feel like there's a Scott Barrett stat that he used for KC Concepcion it was basically just a stat of like guys that ran the ball a lot and caught a lot of passes as wide receivers. And I'm like racking my brain because it was like a very random collection of names on it with like some all-time greats also. I don't know. Was it fucking Jerry Rice? Like, I have no clue. There were like names that I should be guessing from that stat that I'm thinking of right now. If someone can maybe pull it up. If you just name search Scott Barrett, KC Concepcion. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to give the chat hints.
Well, chat already got it.
Why am I bothering?
I'll guess too then, so that I don't just cheap out and get the advantage. I had a guess for this, but Tom said to think bigger, so I'll try and think of like some massive superstar. I don't know. Terrell Owens.
No, good guess. In the Rose Bowl, my first 4 touches gained 121 for 146. 146 on my rushing yards came after contact. I scored on both a 75-yard. It is not good guess. 75-yard reception and a 63-yard punt return as well.
Yeah,
Brian, you get one
I don't
shot.
know. I don't know, bro. Did we say we weren't allowed to guess Percy Harvin? Like
I did. Yes,
I'm
tired of seeing Percy Harvin.
This is like 85% college stats.
Yeah.
Yes, it's just one of the greatest prospects that we've ever seen. This is Christian McCaffrey, and I'm very disappointed in the all-purpose yardage question. Chat got this at 4, 2, 3, 4. I really expected this one to be a little easier than it was with the second question. If you're ever expecting
Ryan and I to get a correct guess based on college stats, you can just not.
It's Christian McCaffrey. I thought it was like locked and he is the ultimate do-it-all player. I mean, I didn't want to give it too much to make it too obvious. But apologies. I'll try to correct that. But chat definitely nailed that one.
Hey,
So
I mean, the
shout out
chat's
to you
enjoying
guys.
this round, so
Yeah.
no criticism
They're
of the
watching
questions.
us.
But this
Yeah,
is not
they're
gonna
just
be-
guessing
this is not
Derrick
gonna be
Henry
right.
and Christian McCaffrey as we're like twisting ourselves into fucking knots, trying to think of Logan Thomas and Randall.
Yeah.
You know
out. Like,
what?
what
Well,
are we
I should
doing?
have gotten stupid Sanu. I guessed in the question before.
I will say, like,
Yeah.
you guys were doing too well, so I thought maybe I had to limit this.
The chat definitely
All right.
cares more about college.
My 6-touchdown performance against Kentucky was the first 6-score game by a Florida player and left me
okay.
1 touchdown shy of Marshall Faulk's national freshman record.
All right, at least I have a school they played for. This is like the first time we've gotten something relevant from the first 3 clues. Okay. Now I feel alive. We have a school.
These guys are thinking of my deep dive, how evil am I going to be type
Look,
scenario.
I'm just happy we have a school. I'll guess Tim Tebow.
No, good guess.
I'll pass to the next one. That's definitely not going to help me.
Okay. As a college freshman, I lived in Florida with 11 rushing touchdowns despite not being its primary running back, and I completed 4 of my 6 pass attempts.
What? Now I'm completely bamboozled on.
Florida running backs.
My clues are lit right now.
It's a lot.
I was. Oh.
Chat, unfortunately, I can tell you, Lucas got it on the first one, so you guys can no longer collect points on this one.
How has Lucas not been romping this whole day? It's like the all college category.
Because he
I'm
kept
surprised
guessing
Lucas
Percy
isn't getting
Harvin.
Everything.
Do we just
Well,
give it to
I
Lucas
guess it's-
then?
I-
No.
Yeah.
No.
You guys can go because he's not here. I
guess
can't that's technically stop him from cheating.
I'm assuming that it's not Percy Harvin because you just said him. But Percy Harvin.
Banned. No, it is not Percy Harvin.
My
Next
guess is
clue.
also Percy Harvin.
Good. Solidarity,
but-
brother.
Yes, Joe. Lucas also has Google for sure, but he also knows he's fired if he ever gets caught.
No, Lucas isn't cheating.
I caught only 3 passes during the 2015 season, but recorded a career high 13 special teams tackles.
Okay. And I guess we don't know if that's a college season or an NFL season. Florida running back with a bunch of cool stuff.
It's an NFL one, by the way.
Okay. Fuck, I should be able to get this.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably. Damn.
No, moving.
Yeah. No. Keep moving.
In 2020, I became only the 3rd tight end in NFL history and the first since 1968 to score a rushing touchdown in consecutive games. The first of those 2 games also included 1 of my receiving touchdowns.
Is it fucking Taysom Hill?
No, good guess. I've seen a couple Taysom Hills today.
Okay, come on, Jacob.
Jacob needs 1 point to keep his lead.
Consecutive games. Fuck, this is gonna drive me nuts.
Yes, it will.
This one I can. I know this is too late, so it's wrong, but I think he's a Florida tight end. Is it Jordan Reed?
No, good guess, though. Good guess. Really good. After Philadelphia lost both its regular and backup long snappers during one game, I became the 3rd string emergency option. My
Oh,
long
I feel like I
high,
remember this.
but it was
and I don't
handled and
remember who it
converted
was.
into a 41-yard go-ahead field goal. The ultimate do-it-all player.
Damn.
Okay, wait. Eagles tight end who played at Florida. How could I not get this? I actually deserve to just be like castrated. And
I will say
in the town square.
I can't give one hint that'll secure it for you if you want.
Okay. No, I don't want that. I don't deserve that.
What a man of honor.
Backup line snappers.
I don't know. Good luck, Jacob.
Zandy, what happened is, look, the last one was all about preseason NFL, and this one has been predominantly about college. Is what happened. But I should have been able to get this one. I don't know. Austin Safarian Jenkins, which is wrong. But.
That is such a phenomenal guess. It is not. It is former Colt and Philadelphia Eagles tight end Trey Burton.
Oh, okay. Trey Burton.
The NFL season statistic was him as an Indianapolis Colt, which is why I thought you might have gotten that. Lucas did get Trey Burton right off the bat.
Oh, his special teams touchdowns.
Yes. Okay. I thought you might have gotten that one on that, but I went and watched the long snap. What a great play. That's not an easy job at all. That's 5 for 5 this week. I put these guys through the ringer. I wanted to mix it up a little bit, set the tone, mix some superstars in there. I love some of the guesses. I would love to I think I might go back and listen and just collect all the great guesses and try to use them in future 5 for 5s. The Dexter McCluster one was an unbelievable poll. Look, everybody, that's it for the show today. Thank you for watching and participating. 5 for 5 is the best game in fantasy football, period. You could argue with the wall. There is no close competitor. New video and podcast will drop tomorrow. We talk about the rookie report from week 2, handcuff running backs, what you should do with them, some wide receiver talk. A lot of good stuff on that episode coming tomorrow, and we are going to have rookie report every single week. So with that in mind, again, shout out Hallen joining the FNL League. I will have information and what to do if you had submitted for the league in the comment sections and in my DMs for you next week. We will have a new listener league set up, ready to go for you guys. Thank you. Love and appreciate everybody. If you could hit the like button, leave a comment after the video. What was your favorite question? You guys can pick the topic for next week's 5 for 5 if you leave a comment as soon as this video ends. It helps us more than you know. For Jakob Sanderson, for Ryan Heath, for Lucas Gilbert, playing from home, remember that clear eyes and full hearts can never lose, and that your best days are always spent tilting in the Fantasy Points front office. We'll see you guys next time.